Alright people, we back here. We back here, we doing our thing. Like and subscribe. We're watching, I forgot the dude's name. It's somebody's sauce guy, I don't know, it's something like sauce guy. I should probably check right now, huh? I think it's sauce. I think it's sauce. Hold on, wait. Now it's just awkward. Young Don, the sauce guy. Alright, Young Don, the sauce guy. Heard it's funny. Also, I'm gonna stop saying how many subs I have in my videos, cause like by the time you guys watch it, I'm like in a different like category now. So like the last time I was like 500 something, and by the time I posted, it's like I was like 600 something. So maybe I shouldn't like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no point in me saying it now. Y'all, every time, you guys keep surprising me by subbing to my channel, which I appreciate. So it's like, well, I might say 400 this week, but then like 2 days later, now I'm at 500 something. It's like, well, thank you guys, I appreciate it. Let's get it. Like and subscribe. I should have stole this girl. I hope it's funny. They told me to watch this. I hope it's funny. Sauce!
If you could have any superpower imaginable, what would it be? This is a question I can remember asking myself ever since I was a youngin' living back in Jamaica. Even now, it's a question I find myself occasionally pondering from time to time. The first superpower I ever wanted was the ability to control fire. Why? Because I was 6 just sounding cool. But now I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, a lighter costs like $2. No. And of course, there was a time I wanted the ability to fly, the ability to teleport, to move things with my mind, invisibility. All the basic superpowers that every kid thinks about. But as I've gotten older, I find myself only wanting one.
Telekinesis.
And that power would be the ability to go back in time. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not because I want to do anything noble like stop 9/11 or tell MLK to take a sick day on the day he got shot. I mean, yeah, sure, those things too. But the real reason why I want that
because then you can fly
so that
too.
I could go back in time
and then you like throw stuff around. Everybody has that power. Like, every movie you see, somebody has that power.
Ain't that some shit?
It's starting to get
all the power in the world, and my biggest concern is still. So let me tell you a story about one of my biggest regrets in regards to a situation I was in involving a girl. So this story takes place around the age of 13, and I of course was still living with my mom back in Jamaica. It was summer break and my mom had enrolled me in a summer arts program for teens at an arts college known as the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. And of course, I didn't want to go. I mean, it's summer. All I wanted to do was stay home, eat hot Cheetos, and play Pokemon. But, you know, being artistic and seeing that my mom has always been hell-bent on raising her children properly. She saw it fit that I spend my summer being productive and not spend the whole time jerking off. So she made me do this instead. So I showed up for the first day of class and right away I realized that this was a great decision. Not because I thought I was gonna have a blast drawing and painting all the time, because this class was riddled with cute girls that I've never seen before. And among all these cute girls, one in particular stood out, and her name was Kelly. Anyway, this was back when my heart still worked properly, and I had also just discovered Drake, which basically means that I was in my feelings like 24/7. Needless to say, I fell in love with this girl immediately. Side note, I've noticed that a lot of the chicks who watch my videos have noticed that pretty much all the girls from my stories are light-skinned, and some of the dark chocolate mamacitas have been leaving comments saying that I only mess with light-skinned girls. This is false. I love all the colors of the rainbow, and for all the dark chocolate queens out there who watch my videos above the age of 18, please feel free to slide in my DMs at ILoveSauceGod on Instagram. That was the last side note, I promise. So after I fell head over heels for this pretty young thing, I made sure that I got to camp at least 30 minutes early so that I could try to figure out a way to approach her before class.
No drama.
Seeing that a good amount of the kids got to class pretty early, her included. And I'd say for like the first 2 weeks, I'd actually just get there, say hi to everyone, And then I'd go sit in the corner and listen to Marvin's Room and just be depressed. Because
that
I
Marvin's
couldn't
Room
work
was
up the
serious.
courage to just go and talk to her. But eventually I did. And right away we hit it off, like instant best friend. We ended up sitting together during class and hanging out during the lunch break. And we'd go on these walks around campus before and after class and just talk and get to know each other. And for me, this was incredible because I had never had the pleasure of getting to know a pretty girl who went to another school. All the pretty girls that I knew at that age, I had already known for years. So this was just amazing. Like, of course I knew that other pretty girls existed, but it's like the first time you come across a shiny Pokemon. Like, you've heard of them, you know they're in the game, but somehow you still find yourself in awe when you actually come across one for the first time yourself. If you didn't get that reference, either you had no childhood or your childhood was way better than mine. So a week or so passes,
I don't think it was way better, but I
things are
think it was
getting
a Pokemon.
between us. Like, we're texting each other, and it became pretty clear to me that there was definitely something there. Like, I was pretty sure that she started to have a crush on me too. Now, how this story should have ended was with me saying, then we ended up becoming like a summer couple, with me and her hiding in empty classrooms and making out in secret, right? That's how it should have ended. But if you paid attention in the beginning, you've probably guessed that I somehow found a way to fuck it all up. And if you guessed that, you wouldn't be wrong. So among the many topics that we talked about together, one of the things that we discussed was her ex-boyfriend, who we'll call Matthew. And the interesting thing about Matthew was he also attended the same summer camp program as us. Now, initially, Kelly was not a fan of Matthew. I can't remember why, but I knew they had recently broken up, and the camera was weren't exactly on good terms. But he was in the process of trying to get her back.
Like 4 hairs.
I didn't blame him. Like, this girl was a catch. Also, I remember that even though she didn't exactly want to get back with him, she still had feelings for him. So one day, Kelly and I were chilling in this little secluded area after class, and the vibes were heavy, my G. Like, strong first kiss signals were definitely in the air. So we're there talking, and then the moment came. We both could sense that it was time to kiss. But right before we lean in to seal the deal, she turns away. So I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And then she was like, I want to kiss you, but I feel like I shouldn't because of Matthew. Like, this feels wrong somehow. And here is where I fucked it all up. I pause for a second, I look away, and then I look back at her, and then I open my stupid mouth and say something like, oh, yeah, no, you're right, because if I was Matthew, I wouldn't want you to kiss me either, and since it sounds like you're still unsure about how you feel about everything, it's probably for the best that we don't kiss right now.
Yeah, that wasn't the right move to make.
What?
That wasn't the right move.
Am I the only one who wants to punch this kid in the mouth? Like, what was I thinking? Like, bruh, this would have been the prettiest girl that I would have kissed for years. Like, another 5 years went by before I got another chance.
I mean, he's over there and we're here. That's all I gotta say.
Just disappointed. All right, let's wrap this shit up. I don't want to talk about this no more. So I say that, and then she looks at me, almost in surprise, probably because she wasn't expecting me to be that much of a and then she smiles and says, I think you're right. Thank you. And then that was that. We continued to talk until it was time for us to go home, and then we just went home. No kiss. So we go home, and I know at the time I thought I did the right thing. It didn't dawn on me that I made a mistake until a few days later. Because guess who I see hanging out by themselves at camp just a couple days after I
saw that coming already though. Alright, you saw that coming.
Yup, you guessed it. Kelly and Matthew. They got back together, and needless to say, fuck. And that's pretty much the story. So if I was able to go back in time and give younger me some advice on how I should have handled the situation, I would have said something similar to today's moral. In this world, there are only 2 types of people. Those who go and take what they want, and those who get their shit took. If you have an opportunity to take something that you desire, then never hesitate to seize the moment. Because if you allow that moment to pass out of fear of how it's gonna make somebody else feel, then I can guarantee you that
you're never gonna do nothing.
Come right along and take that chance from you.
And you're never gonna do anything if you always worry about somebody else.
Do it, your feelings will be the least of their concerns.
Got lost in the sauce. These niggas they hate. They mad that they late. Ice water like a lake. Diamond shining never fade.
No, I'm done. I agree with everything he said. The story wasn't as funny as I thought. Wasn't as funny as I'd hoped. But I agree with everything he said. Dang. Yeah, you can't do stuff like that. You gotta go for broke at that point. I don't know if I should. Well, you know what? You should. No, I don't know. Don't say that, but don't say nothing like that, but dang, I'm trying to think, what would I have said in that situation? Ish. I probably would have been like, I mean, there's a reason why he's your ex. I would say stuff like that. I mean, there's a reason why it didn't work out before. There's a reason why me and you are here now, you know. Come here. Let me listen to something in here. I wouldn't say that either. I'm done. I'm silly. Y'all like and subscribe. Check out this channel. I like the drawing now. The animation. It looks really cool. I like it. I wish I could do something like that. I'll see you in the next video.
They got back together, and needless to say, fuck.